Hey friend, Roger Christofferson here again with another first listen review. Hoping to babble my way through this one instead of hacking and coughing, but we'll see how it goes. Been listening to this all last night, all day today. It is Yes, Close to the Edge, the Super Deluxe Edition. Heard about this one coming out quite a while back, several months ago, don't remember exactly, and couldn't wait. This is like one of those albums that a lot of people in the prog rock scene or fans, whatever, consider to be one of the greatest prog rock albums of all time. Probably Yes fans consider this to be one of their best albums, that they ever did. It was the last one to feature Bill Bruford, unfortunately, but I have to agree, it is really an awesome album. So I was very interested to hear, what the new updated Steven remix was going to be like, because he already did this once in 2013, but I guess we needed to have another remix done here again in 2025, along with a remaster of the original. Some interesting stuff on here, so I guess I'll just dive right into it. This is like, it's kind of strange because my history with Yes is started with 9125. I had heard maybe some things before that. I was, pretty young when that album came out, and heard that, Owner of a Lonely Heart on the radio, and I thought it was pretty cool. Got that album, and then I needed to know more. So like the next album I got was Tornado, and I believe after that it was Classic, Tales from Topographic Oceans, and I think Drama was again after that. So it took me a while to get back to Close to the Edge. In fact, I think Fragile was after that. So, it took me quite a while to get back to Close to the Edge. And I'm going to be quite honest, back then the super long songs was not really something I did a lot. So I had to mature a little bit musically before I actually could really appreciate, this album, because, Close to the Edge is I think it was up to this point was the longest song they had ever done. Might still be, I actually don't know. Like, somebody could check that and comment below if this still is. I actually don't know. I know Tales of Topographic Oceans got some pretty long ones on there too, so I don't remember if those were, I just feel like those were shorter songs, but I'm really not sure. But anyway, so this album, I haven't listened to in a while, although I have listened to it many times over the years, but it's been quite a few years, honestly, since I've listened to this one. I think probably 2013 is probably the last time I listened to this, and I don't remember even what I thought of it when I heard, Steven Wilson's remix of it. But I do have to say, I do like the way Steven does the remixes of albums. If you're familiar with any of the work he's done, with like Gentle Giant and Jethro Tull and the other stuff he's done with Yes, and to numerous other bands, and I've heard him in interviews say that he likes to stick, he likes to hear the original and not like stray too far away from that. He just likes to enhance it. If there's stuff that's buried in the track, he wants to bring it up so it's like more audible. Give it a little bit more life if it needs it here and there, but he doesn't really want to change it and distort what we've all grown to love over these years. Just enhance it, make it a little bit better. Sorry about the hacking. I knew that was going to happen at some point. But anyway, so the first CD is just the original remaster, which I did listen to. I didn't actually sit and listen to it all the way through because, quite honestly, I was more interested in hearing what the remix was like. I did kind of bounce through this one, and the only thing I really noticed, as far as, I'm not a big fan of remasters, quite honestly, because a lot of times they don't do what you want them to do. This one didn't really offend me, sonically or anything like that, but the only thing I really noticed, it had a little bit crisperness to it, if that's a word, and the bass seemed like it stood out a little bit more. Don't know if that was just my imagination, but to me that's kind of what I got from that. However, when we get to the 2025 remixes on CD2, you get the whole album all over again, and then you get all the instrumental remixes of that. It was pretty much what I expected from Steven Wilson. I didn't go back and compare it to the 2013 remix because honestly, I haven't really listened to that remix album since I got it. But on this version here, it is pretty much what I thought. He does stick very closely, and I had just listened, right before this, just the remaster. He doesn't change a lot. You can hear a few little guitar things here and there that I didn't notice before, especially in Close to the Edge. And then there's a few little vocal things I picked up in You and I that I just never, and background things and harmonies that I never really quite noticed before. And on that and Siberian Katru, I don't know if I'm saying that right, just a little bit more keyboard presence than I had ever noticed before. So, I was kind of listening a lot more closely than I ever had before, and that's kind of what I picked up on it. I did kind of play the instrumentals of this just because I wanted to listen to everything. I'm not really a big fan of when they do instrumentals. I don't know why bands really do that. To me, it's just kind of offensive to the singer and the band as a whole. This is my personal opinion. I think when a band creates something and they put a product out, that's it. That's what they wanted. That's the whole song. If it's got vocals, then that's the way it's supposed to be. If it doesn't, it's just instrumental, then that's the way it's supposed to be. That's what the intention of the band or the artist was. It'd be like taking a painting and then saying, hey, we're going to take all the color out and show you the outline of things. It doesn't make sense to me, but that's just my personal opinion. But one thing I tell you, I did really, the bass playing in this, I'm a huge Chris Squire fan. I love Chris Squire. One of the inspirations for me to want to learn. He is just all over the place. It's insanely crazy how tight he was with Bill Bruford on this album, and how much him and Bill held everything together, because this is like really intricate progressive stuff. And you got Steve Howe and Rick Wakeman, doing all this crazy stuff over the top of it. But even what they're doing is pretty nuts, but somehow still holding it all together. This man this once again gave you this super new appreciation for Chris. He's just such a great bass player. Excuse me again, jeez. I knew that was going to happen. But then we go on to CD3, which is the rarities. I think I've heard this before. I know I've heard America before, obviously. This version of it, I believe I've got on something else. It seems like I've heard, it didn't sound like anything different. All those promos and single edits, I think they're on another version of this that I have or something else. I definitely have heard those before. I believe these were I should have went back and looked, but I didn't. I think these are the extra songs that were on the deluxe edition that they released back in 2013. I think those are already on there. But it was nice listening to them again. I like the fact that they did the studio run through of it's called Siberia on here, and they did it live, and you can hear it, and I just like that. It sounds rough. It sounds like a band playing together, but studio conditions, so it sounds really good, but still you get the live feel and the energy of the track itself. I thought that was pretty cool. And then there's the alternate version of You and I on there, which I listened through the whole thing. I wasn't paying attention close enough to pick up what was different, but it was still fun to listen to it anyway. The dry mix was a little strange. I had heard that before. That was on another release already. And then there's a couple little edits that Steven Wilson did. Siberian Katru, Chord of Life, and Total Mass Retain at the end. So there wasn't like a whole lot here that was extra bonus stuff that I really hadn't heard before, aside from those last three little things there at the end, which really wasn't much of anything extra. However, CDs 4 and 5 are the Live at the Rainbow, London, England, 1972. At this point, Bill Bruford had left the band and joined King Crimson, and Alan White was on board, and that's what this concert is from. They did a box set or something here a while back that had a whole bunch of releases from this point in time, 6 or 7 concerts, something like that. I don't remember exactly, and I know I have it. I don't think this was part of it because it says unreleased here, so I'm just going by what they're telling me here. So I have not listened to all those myself, so this was kind of like cool to sit down and listen to this. The recording of it, not bad. It's not like super top notch, but it wasn't bad. But you definitely get the live feel of the band. Alan White did a great job on it. He sounds fantastic. Like, I think the highlight for me was Heart of the Sunrise. I just really like, once again, Chris Squire's, bass playing in there, and they did the rest of the stuff really cool. It ends with Starship Trooper, which I just love that song. It's just got a cool, epic feel to it. I'm sure lots of people feel that same way. Of course, Yours Is No Disgrace is on here, which is probably one of my favorites. I don't know why. The first time I heard the song, I thought the guitar part was really cool, and I'd never really heard anybody do anything quite like that on there, so it's always just kind of stuck with me. And that was like the highlight of it for me. The remixes were pretty cool. I like that. I like the way Steven did his thing, which I was very happy with, and the live thing was very cool. However, a little bit disappointed with the bonus stuff and the rarities, but didn't really need to hear the remaster for any real reason, or the instrumentals, but everything else was pretty good. I mean, they could have got this down to a 3D CD set, and I'd have been very happy, but overall, not a bad listen. So, as always, hopefully next week when I listen to stuff, I'll be a bit more lively in this, but for right now, feel free to like, comment, and all that. Like, comment, all that stuff. I can't even talk right. It's the cold medicine. I blame it on the cold medicine. Comment anything you want, as always, and like, share, and subscribe to keep this music alive, because can't wait to hear what the next box set's going to be. Hopefully they find some more actual rarities on the next one, and we'll see what that one's going to be. Until then, see ya.